Good morning, Niagara. You're tuned into Car Connection, where the coffee's hot, tools are ready, and the talk is always tuned up. I'm your host, Niall Motormouth Jenkins, coming to you straight from the Car Connection workshop, where we mix a little humor, a little know-how, and a whole lot of horsepower. Here, it's not just about fixing cars. It's about keeping you rolling, saving you money, and giving you the confidence to understand what's under that hood. From the classics to the commuters, the weird noises to the what the heck moments, we've got you covered. So grab your coffee, sit back, join the crew, because this is Car Connection, your Monday through Saturday morning pit stop for stories, smarts, a few good laughs. And I'm Niall Motormouth Jenkins, and we are shifting into drive this morning. We've made it to the weekend. It's officially Q&A Saturday. I want to thank all those who sent their questions in by noon on Friday. So if you haven't had a chance to do that, here's your opportunity for the following week. If you're just joining us for the first time, Saturday is a 1-hour Q&A. I cover 3 questions that come in out of all the questions that are in the pile, and unpack those 3 questions completely, giving you a detailed answer so that when you hear your question answered on the podcast, you've gotten a real answer, not just a fluff answer. So good morning. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome to Car Connection's Motormouth Morning Drive. I am Motormouth officially. Thanks for stopping by. You can catch all our podcasts on our YouTube channel at Niall Motormouth Jenkins. We have everything for you in the biggest drawer in our toolbox we call our homepage of our website at carconnectionbusinessnetwork.com. That's where you'll find our program partners that make this podcast and our YouTube channel possible. Without them, we wouldn't be here. We would have to send each of you an invoice so you could pay it by e-transfer. But I don't think that's going to happen. So we had to get our own program partners to help us along. And thank goodness when we finished radio in 2024, we brought some of our program partners with us. And we're blessed to have them with us to hold the fort while we work towards getting monetized. So if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, what we talk about here is video recorded so that you can actually watch some of these things. But a lot of the topics I talk about here on the podcast, I don't necessarily cover on our YouTube channel. So if you follow us on our podcast on all platforms, Spotify, Amazon, Apple, Podbean, and whatever platform you're pulling your podcast from, just search Car Connection Workshop. All our podcasts populate onto our YouTube channel. So we are on the cusp of entering into season 3. So that will put 200 podcasts into our YouTube channel. And I know we are heading for like 500 items to educate yourself on vehicle ownership and covering all the basic fundamentals of owning and operating an automobile, whether it's older or really old, or just a couple of years old. And remember this, mileage does not matter, friends. It does not. Maintenance is what matters. If you don't look after a fairly new vehicle, then what are you going to do with the next one? That's the big question. So if you're very weak on doing maintenance on your automobile, then you're going to be always making a car payment. That's the trade-off. That's as simple as it gets. So you can own and operate an older automobile and keep the maintenance up. And it doesn't matter if that vehicle's 3 years outside of warranty. Just imagine this. You buy a vehicle brand new, right? Is it older or newer 2 years later? 24 months down the road? Just answer that question. Is it older or newer? Okay. All right. So now you've paid the loan off, and that's 5 years for most, 7 for others, maybe 10. After you pay the loan, is the car getting newer or older? There's the question. Because I always hear this. Well, I want to get a new car because I need to have reliability. I don't want to drive an old car. Oh, well, if you're in that position, that's great. But for many, you know what? We got to keep them going. And I am not interested in paying interest whatsoever because it's not necessary. If you step up vehicle maintenance and take care of your vehicle from day one, you don't have to be trading time for money to make car payments, to drive a vehicle to impress people you don't even know or may not necessarily even like. So our homepage is where you'll find our YouTube channel. I would recommend, no matter what age, height, width, weight, color, single, married, unsingle, unmarried, widowed, learn the basic fundamentals of vehicle ownership, and you become a very dangerous person to the service desk, because less likely, because you know stuff, you're going to get taken advantage of. So the more basic vehicle maintenance tips you can take in, the better it is for you, period. So on our homepage, here's how it works. You will find our program partners and our recommended businesses there. We're rebuilding our recommended business part of Car Connection and bringing more businesses into the fold. We had a fantastic amount of businesses until that stupid campaign hit, and it kind of crushed us. It did. It crushed half of everything I worked for to put together in 26 years. So rebuilding, that's what we're doing. So if you're a small, medium business and you'd like to get involved in our Car Connection Business Network, where I recommend your business to others because I vet every single business that's in there. Doesn't mean they're perfect. Doesn't mean they can walk on water. Means they work with honesty and integrity. And if there's a problem, they'll take care of it. That's what I look for. Businesses and business owners that are passionate and compassionate about the products, goods, and services that they can provide to you, our viewers on our YouTube channel, and here on our podcasts all around the world. So connect with me. My emails are always in the description of our videos and also in the description of our podcasts. And I put lots of nuggets in the descriptions. I do them myself purposely so I can give you a little more detail on how to take better care of your automobile and save money. So if you like to save time, money, and stress, and a few bloody knuckles, then you're in the right program. But if none of that is of interest to you, well, maybe it's just entertainment. But if not, you're probably not going to enjoy the program, because I do yak. That's all part of it. Talk radio. I'm not quite sure what that means. Talk radio. Talk podcasts. Someone help me out with that. Anyways, top right-hand corner of our homepage, you'll find links. Just point, click, and you're there. Our YouTube channel, Facebook, Instagram, Stevensville on the web. It's my parents live in Stevensville. A lot of my friends are videographers. Skippy lives in Stevensville. Her parents are there. We're all connected through Stevensville. Some great eateries there. You got to check it out. That's where the Safari Niagara is. Great place to take the grandkids, the kids, the bigger kids alike. Just watch out for the camels. They spit, and it is gross. And the rhinos, yeah, they pass gas through their mouth. No, that's not the rhinos. That's the hippos. Yeah, the hippos. That's gross too. They're kind of unique looking, but keep a distance. I'm just saying. All right. Reels, bloopers, and outcasts, podcasts and stuff. All the weird stuff. Skippy collects it, and that's where she posts all those things. You will not find those reels, bloopers, and outtakes any outcasts. Where did that come from? Outcasts. Did I get voted off the island? Yeah, you'll find all that there. You can follow us. And also on our website, you'll find everything on our homepage that you'd like to follow the build and repair work that we do and connect with our program partners. Just click on any logo, and that will open their profile page. And all the pages are set up the same, so you can easily navigate your way through our website. We have a merch store, Freedom Expressions, on our homepage as well. The link is there. Whatever you order gets shipped directly to your door. They custom make it and ship it out just for you. All the proceeds, Skippy and I, we decided to turn that back to Total Freedom Addiction campuses, helping those who are ready to say goodbye to their addiction. And that's what they do. And for 25 years at Total Freedom Addiction campuses, changing lives one at a time. So stand with us, Skippy and I and the crew, because our job is to do the best we can to help the next one get to the nearest campus where they can get the help they need to break free from their addiction. So stand with us, and together we can change lives. All right, let's jump into our program this morning and have our morning swiggy. So if you're one of the lucky ones that are working weekends like I do, and it's okay, I'm not complaining. Never complain, never explain. So if you're in the queue to the drive-through, really put a close eye on your order. It is weekend, and it could be the weekend warriors in there serving up, or they're filling in for somebody and they really don't want to be there. So no disrespect, but check your order before you leave the drive-through, and we'll have a morning swiggy in about 30 seconds, brought to you by Earl and Louise Grant at City Auto Sales and Leasing, providing us all with low-mileage, quality vehicles at fair prices. Their Greater Toronto Area's premier pre-owned auto store. You'll always be treated with honesty and integrity, and you'll be able to buy a vehicle from Earl and Louise. Mama Louise, wait till you meet Mama Louise. You'll want to go back and buy a car every day of the week. You will love it there. So you can buy with confidence and be treated with nothing less than honesty and integrity. And if they don't have the vehicle you're looking for, just let Earl know. He's a major car guy, and they have a lot of resources to find that specific vehicle you're looking for, save you 1,000 steps and getting somebody else's piece of junk. Because you know what? Those folks that don't listen to Car Connection and haven't for 32 years, they're the ones that drive it into the ground. What does that mean? I'll tell you in short. They do nothing to the vehicle whatsoever. If it's not covered by warranty, they don't put a dime above what they're paying for it into that car. Those are the worst pieces of junk to get your hands on. They're the worst. I would much rather buy a vehicle off rental that has been driven like it's been stolen. Those vehicles, they're bulletproof. Because if you've ever had a rental, you kind of drive it hard. Yeah, so if it's going to break, here's the theory, and it works out very well. An off-rental vehicle has been driven really hard. And if anything major was going to go wrong with it, it would have done it while it was a rental. There you go. Those vehicles are well broken in, and I'll tell you, you'll get a good one for sure. The vehicles that have been just driven for 3 to 5 years, no maintenance done unless it's covered by the factory, those vehicles, those are junk. They really are. They turn into a big money pit. That's what happens. So low mileage is not always good. I've bought a lot of vehicles, almost 300,000 K, been some of the best vehicles I have ever owned in my life. I bought some vehicles that were babied, bought new, hidden away, driven very little, and you get it out on the highway and the engine starts hammering. Yep. Not once, but that happened like 3 times in a row. That's when I said I'm not picking up anything low mileage from anybody, because it'll fall apart very, very quickly. And they do. They need a lot of work. So let's have our morning beverage together. You ready? Whatever your flavor is, it's okay with us. We have high octane, 99.9% octane boost, not a penny less. And on 3, 2, 1, we have a swiggy together, and we say, thank you, Earl and Louise Grant at City Auto Sales, okay? 3, 2, 1. That is so good right now. You ever notice that? You know, the first cup of coffee in the morning or whatever your morning beverage, you take a swiggy and you go, yeah, that was worth getting up for. Absolutely. All right, let's jump into our weekend weather, and then we'll cover our topics this morning. I have 3 questions. Thank you to Louise, Katharine, and Jimmy for sending in your questions and having them in by noon on a Friday so that I could pluck 3 yummy ones out and break them down for you. So thank you very much for taking time to do that, because that's what makes things go around here in the Car Connection workshop. If you do not have a maintenance schedule to follow, we have our Car Connection maintenance schedule on a profile page on our website, along with an order form. You order it through the Car Connection studio, and I send that out to you directly. Special pricing if you're subscribed to our YouTube channel, and get yours while quantities last. This is an easy way for you to track your vehicle maintenance by yourself. Again, no matter what age, size, dimension, color, or anything. Marital status, you don't have a goldfish or a hamster anymore. It's okay. You can have a Car Connection maintenance schedule kit and track your own vehicle maintenance and be in charge and in control of the maintenance on your automobile. And you know what? You can live with that vehicle for a long time. Our 2007 FJ Cruiser is going to have a birthday coming up June the 6th, and it will be 20 years old and just shy of 400,000 K. I'm not quite sure when the birthday is for the 99 Honda Civic DX, the Rocket, but it's at 319,000. And the air conditioning still blows penguins out the dash. You can hang beef in there, I'm telling you. That's a fantastic little car. I have to tap on the gas gauge just to believe that is that a true reading there? Is that? Wow. I went all that distance and needle didn't even barely move. Those are the vehicles to have right now. All right, so weekend weather, here it is, brought to us by Niagara Block. That's Kathy, Dave, and Dan Grimo, the next generation of Niagara Block at 5000 Montrose Road, Niagara Falls. Building Canada since 1931. Building supplies, bricks and blocks. I think it's mostly blocks. I don't think I'd seen a brick there, but they do have interlocking brick and all the hardscape landscaping materials to create that beautiful backyard oasis you've always wanted. Check in with Kathy Grimo if you're needing a contractor to do that work for you. She has a list of qualified contractors that can estimate, design, and create that beautiful space that you've always wanted. So check in with the Grimos, Kathy, David, and Dan at Niagara Block. 5000 Montrose Road, Niagara Falls. Let them know that Car Connection sent you. Here we have our RAIN meter, the rainometer, 0.05. Now, what does that mean? I'd have to look at the symbol there. That means, is that greater than or less than? That's less than 0.05 of an inch on the rainometer. Saturday's low will be 55 degrees between 5 a.m. and 6 a.m. The high will be 70 degrees between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. The temperature range will feel like 48 to 67. The wind will make it feel a whole lot cooler than the actual temperature. Let's jump into see how it's Father's Day weekend. Hopefully get a barbecuous in there, fire up Sparky and throw some meat on the grill. There could be some room for some vegetables. Not much, though. Not on our grill. All right, the rainometer, the rainometer for Sunday is less than 0.05 of an inch, but I actually see some lightnings on my screen. What does that mean exactly? Sunday's low will be 56 between 5 a.m. and 6 a.m. The high will be 73 degrees between 3 p.m. and 4 p.m. The temperature range, this is in the Niagara region, of course. Okay. 3 p.m. between 3 p.m. and 4 p.m. Temperature range will feel like 55 to 71. Wind will make it feel cooler than the actual temperature. I'll tell you, the last few days here in the Niagara region and on South Shore of Lake Erie, the waves were 12 to 15 feet. A little windy out there. I think you should probably leave the canoe on the shore. If you're not a 153-footer, probably shouldn't be out there. Always check the marine report before heading out anywhere on any body of water, because things, especially on Lake Erie, being a shallow lake, it can blow up very quickly. You can leave the dock and it's the water's like glass, and within an hour, look out, buddy. It's tough. Thank you to our certified financial planning professionals, Tony Miele and Larry Tetro, 50 years experience with IG Wealth Management. They are my personal financial planners and my brothers from other mothers. Get that hour and a coffee, friends. If you are going through some challenging financial times, then get your questions answered. Bring some clarity to whatever your questions are and your concerns. And the fellas, they're two of the best in all of Canada, and they're very humble, and they don't need any more clients, but they're giving of their time to help those who reach out. So they're handing you an olive branch. We call it the hour and a coffee discovery meeting. No sales, no finger pointing at all. They're going to listen and formulate a plan just for you. So take that hour and a coffee seriously. That's an hour discovery meeting at no cost. Leave your wallet and your purse at home and check in with Tony Miele and or Larry Tetro. Let them know that we sent you and where you're from Car Connection, and you'll be in good hands. Get your questions answered by those who have the fruit on the tree. If it's not Tony Miele or Larry Tetro, you want to make sure you're sitting with a certified financial planning professional that understands tax laws, portfolios, debt management, estate planning, mortgages, life insurance, critical illness insurance, and a whole lot more, and tax laws, and everything to do with making and creating an estate plan. Well, let's jump into question number one. We're on episode 196 today, which means in a few more days, we'll be heading into season 3 with Car Connection. That's amazing. I can't believe it. The time has gone by, and being able to do a program for you, half an hour programs during the week, Monday through Friday, and Friday being our fun Friday, and Saturday being a 1 hour question and answer. So again, make sure you get your questions in by noon on Friday. motormouth.jenkins@gmail.com or Niall@ccbus as in bus, net as in net.com. That's just short for businessnetwork.com. Niall@ccbusnet.com. Well, Louise asks, and I read them as I get them, so if there's grammatical errors, that's okay. I'm just reading them off as I pluck them from the email. So Louise is saying, time to replace my 15-year-old car. Been a while since I went car shopping. What to do? Well, first and foremost, I would say if you have to drive 2 days as the crow flies to get to Earl and Louise Grant at City Auto Sales and Leasing, it would be well worth your time to sit with Earl and Mama Louise, because you're in a safe place there. You're not going to come home with somebody else's junk, and you're not going to be treated with dishonesty and disrespect and the whole 9 yards, and a bag of chips and a diet soda. You need to take your time, girl. And what I mean by that is, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Go to the dollar store and only take enough money to buy one of those little handheld spiral-bound notepads. I call them tablets. Okay? You need one that fits in the palm of your hand. It doesn't have to be humongous. You don't have to go in with a ginormous clipboard. And the reason I say just go in with a couple of bucks, but I don't know about you, at the dollar store, it always seems to cost me $20 more at the dollar store. Is that just me? And I've often thought what would be a really cool video is to set 6 people into a dollar store of my choice location so that you don't know the store, and then give you a certain amount of time to come out with as many items as you can find $1 or under. Yeah, I think that'd make an amazing video. And you would have to have your own dollar store costume. Yeah. I'm really seriously thinking about that. That we, Skippy and I, she's excited about it. She goes, that would be a really good video. I go, I think it would. I think it'd be a killer video. I'd be laughing so hard because I don't know about you, but if I find an item under $1 at the dollar store, cha-ching, I'm happy. Oh, yes. Happiness. All right, let's jump into that for Louise, as now you have that spiral bound notebook. You're going to write every vehicle on an individual page of that booklet, and I've gone through this probably a bajillion, gazillion, gadillion times. Lots. So that little notebook's your friend. You write down on each page a vehicle that you're interested in, that sparks your interest, not your neighbor, not me, not the dude next door, not the guy that's creepy across the street, the creepy guy. Your thoughts, what you like. So on each page, if you have 6 vehicles in mind, or 7 or 10, you write on each page what that vehicle is and the model year that you're interested in. Okay? And if it has to be a specific color, put that on there too. It has to be this color. All right? To me, when I'm vehicle shopping, color doesn't matter that much to me. You know, as long as it doesn't look like Fluffy the Clown's car, that's a little too much. That's a little... Clowns are creepy. Okay, let's leave it at that. Yeah, it's like the flying monkeys on what was that program? Toto. Yeah, you know, the little dog. Yeah, that movie. Creepy. Wizard of Oz. Flying monkeys, that part still creeps me out. Anyways, I digress. So now you've written down each year, make, model, color on one vehicle per page. Draw a line down the middle of the page, top to bottom, so vertically. Left side, things I like. Right side, things that suck. And that's what that side is deal breaker stuff. Okay? So I write that on there. Things that suck, S-U-K. So those are the things that I can't live with, are going to be in that lane on that piece of paper. So now you're going to organize going and road testing every single one of those vehicles, and here's how you manage that. You walk in the door. You do not become coerced into buying something by the salesperson or feel intimidated by any way, shape, or form. You're going to control the purchase from start to finish. So there's no emotional damage taking place. So when you walk in, you say, I'm here to road test, blah, blah, blah. I'm not here to purchase today, only road test. And they may start talking, and they will. Salespeople, you know, their lips start talking, that's when they're lying. And an 84-year-old salesman told me that. How do you know, Motormouth, when a salesman's lying to you? I don't know. When their lips are moving. Oh, that's good to know. I'll write that down. So that stays with me. So you want to make that perfectly clear so that they know what your all intents purposes are. You're in the showroom. They're going to be on you like a vulture right now because the market is not hot for sales, vehicle sales. Pre-owned, oh yeah. Pre-owned, they're busy. Very busy, because that's where you need to be. And I would suggest if you're buying pre-owned, Louise, here's what I'm going to suggest to you. I know you're giving up a 15-year-old vehicle, but I would not buy anything beyond 2020. right now. I would leave. I don't care what flavor it is. Well, unless it's a Honda, you're good there. Toyota, just be careful with the Tundra thing. I don't think you'd be a Tundra gal, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong. You Toyota, Hyundai, even Honda, you could go newer. But as for the rest, something smells real bad, if you know what I'm saying. Just stay away. 2020 and under. And you're going to save money on that too, big time, because somebody else takes the hit on depreciation. So now you're going to road test. I'm going to just choose the number 6. You got 6 vehicles that are of interest to you. Go and road test every single one. And when you walk in, you say the same thing you said at the last one. I'm here to road test only today. I want to see this specific vehicle if it will work for me. I'm not here today to make the decision to purchase. They go, oh, well, why not? Because I had several other models that I wish to ride first. Oh, may I know? No, I'm just here to do this one. So as you're driving this vehicle, you have that little notebook out. Don't write things down while you're driving, but take it into a parking lot. Park every single vehicle that you're road testing. Put it between the lines. That's what I want you to do. Pretend like the whole parking lot is full, jam-packed with cars because there's a 4-for-1 special at Walmart. And you're freaking out that they may not have supplies and you'll miss out on that humongous sale. So you want to go to a parking lot and you want to back it in, parallel park, do the whole 90. Because I can't tell you how many people have purchased a vehicle and then they go, I can't park the thing worth beans. Like the blind spot is horrible for lane changing. I'm a little intimidated by the vehicle. It doesn't really work for me and the seats are stinking uncomfortable. Feel like I'm sitting on a piece of 2x4 and 5/8 plywood. Yeah, these are the things you have to learn before you own it. That's where I'm taking you. Take the time. This is a huge deal. This is a whack of cash. And the last thing you want is to have a vehicle in your driveway that you really don't stinking like. And, usually the first 6 months, once the honeymoon's over, you really get to go. It's really awkward to get the kids in and out and packages, and it's got a blind spot, and I can't park the thing to save my life. It just doesn't work. It's not what I expected. So those are the things you're going to write down on the left side, things I like, right side, things that suck. Do the next vehicle. Do the next one, do the next one, do the next one, do the next one. Don't even look at price right now. The thing you want is to find the vehicle that works for you. Again, no outside influence. Buddies, co-workers, whatnots, and whoever's, and who's that creepy guy. This is your deal, Louise. This is your deal. No one else's. Even if you asked me, said, Motormouth, what vehicle should I buy? The answer to all of you, the one you like. And please do your own homework. And that's what I'm giving you. Your homework. I do the same. I take a notepad. If I'm going to look at something even for anyone else, I write down what I liked about it and what sucked. Just total deal breakers. Be honest. I just got hit by another company. They want me to send me some equipment to review, and I said I'd be happy to do that for you, but you have to be willing to accept my review, the things I liked about it and the things I don't. Then I'll do a review. If not, then don't send me anything, okay? And that happens all the time. The last couple of weeks, I've been hit up by companies. Would you do a review for us? And those are the stipulations. Yeah, sure, I'll do that. You never know. You can always say, I have my go-to stuff, but, you can always take it. Be open-minded. Mind is like a parachute, remember. It only works when it's open. So, Louise, this is your shopping day to find your vehicle, your next vehicle that works for you. And that's what's important. Don't be asking what your friend thinks, your neighbor, anybody else. No, this is your money going down on the vehicle that's going to be in your hands to take care of for, I hope, the next 15 years or more for you. You've done well. If you've got a 15-year-old car, you've done well. Well done, you. Thanks for sharing that question and the opportunity to help you with your shopping. But I would highly endorse you connect with Mama Louise and her husband, Earl Grant. Mr. and Mrs. Grant will take very, very good care of you. And I know you'll be in good hands. 100%. 100%. So check them out on our website. Connect with them. Connect with them. And let them know what vehicle you're looking for. I don't know if you're looking at brand new or you're looking at pre-owned, but I would certainly, if it's brand new, you're going to do exactly the same procedure. If it's pre-owned, you're going to do exactly the same procedure. And that's it. And, it doesn't hurt to find out. Just ask the salesperson, I need to know what the approximate value is to the vehicle so you can put the price tag on the page that matches the vehicle you road tested. Because maybe at the end of the day, it's going to be the budget that determines which vehicles are going to be moved from the suspect list to the prospect list. And that's where you want to get to. Great question. And that's one I've fielded for 32 years now. And 44 years as a tech, 32 years in the communication business. Yeah, radio is kind of the communication business. I'll write a book someday. Yeah, you'll get a good bird's eye view of what that looks like. Not at every network, but a number of them. Yeah, they're in the communication business. And my board operators would go, that's a great way of describing it and being polite. All right, question number 2. You're tuned to Motormouth's Morning Drive here on Saturday's Q&A, questions and answers. If you want your question to be answered on the broadcast, that's easy to do if you send your questions in by noon hour on Friday. That's when I need to have it, noon hour on Friday. Okay, it's motormouth.jenkins@gmail.com or Niall@ccbusnet.com. Question number 2 comes in from Katharine. There's a horrible shake when I apply my brakes and the vehicle pulls to the right hand side. Okay. I think I'm on that one. Not too sure, but 100% sure. Yeah, I'm cautiously optimistic on that one. Well, number 1, okay, you're going to say, way to go, Sherlock. Did you figure that one out on your own? It's a brake problem. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah. Last summer, the Brake National, Skippy would tell you, wow, people really beat their brakes up, don't they? And I go, well, it's called L of M, lack of maintenance. When you have a car that has brakes, you know what you need to do? Here's what they're going to do. Yeah, we'll just leave it at that. If you don't know what to do, here's what you need to do. Get the brakes checked. Anytime you hear something quirky, some grunting, squeaking, squealing, thumping, thudding, chattering, or NVH we call it, noise, vibration, and harshness. NVH. It's real. I didn't make it up. I wish I did, but I did not make that up. So you've got pulling to one side. That tells me we have a caliper that's hung up on the opposite side. So if it's scoozing over to the right side, the left side is seizing up. Okay, now before the naysayers go, no, that's not possible, you're an idiot. I could be, but probably not all the time. Yeah, not just when you're not looking. But if Skippy catches me on video, I'm busted. She'll go, She doesn't tell me. She just posts these things. I posted a new reel. Check it out. I go, you did it. Yeah, I did. I didn't know you were recording that. You weren't supposed to record that. Yeah. Yeah. That happened the other week. I posted the wrong short, and then I actually watched it afterwards. I go, oh, you can't post that. I had to knock it out of there. Yeah. Because I said a bad word. Not a really bad one, but just inappropriate. I don't drop F-bombs or anything like that, but I said the S word. Okay? The other word for poop or poo or excrement. Yeah. And it was on that video. So I took care of that. I embarrassed myself. So here's the deal. The vehicle will always trail to the side that is freewheeling because it's turning faster. Get this, guys, okay, please? Because if you put me that stupidity in the comments, I'm going to say you're silly. It will always pull. The problem child is the side it's not pulling to. No, that's not true. It is true. So if it's trailing to the right, the problem wheel is on the left. If it's trailing to the left, the problem wheel is on the right. It's opposite. Because whatever wheel is freewheeling, it's turning faster than the side that's dragging, that is lagging behind. So if we have a caliper that's hanging up, that wheel is not turning free or as fast as the right side, and that's why it will scoot over to the opposite side. So again, if the left side caliper is seizing up, the car will lead to the right. It will want to take off to the right. If the right side caliper is dragging, the vehicle will want to go to the left. So that's how that works. So it's completely opposite. It's the coefficient of friction is the technical term. So drag, there's friction there. So that friction is preventing the wheel from turning at the same speed as the opposite side that is freewheeling. That's how that works, okay? That's the science. That's not motor mouth. That is the science behind the coefficient of friction. Man, where did that come from? I must have had a really good cup of coffee on that one. So what we want to do there, Katharine, is we want to get that vehicle in. In fact, that's a great question because I have a vehicle coming in today after the programming that has that exact thing going on. And it just happened suddenly where the driver's side caliper decided to pinch the brakes and not let go. And occasionally it does let go, and then the pull to the trailing to the right is what is happening. And when the caliper decides to go, oh, okay, I'll stop pinching now, the brake pads, everything's good, but the caliper is seizing up, and it has damaged a perfectly good brake job on that car, I might add, but it's too bad. That's original calipers on there, so it is a good idea. Every couple of years, whether the calipers appear to be working decent, they can let go anytime. It is a good measure. Every 2 to 3 years, if you're doing a brake job, just change the calipers up. Because this is what can happen. This car's an 09 with just a little over 80,000 K, and they're the original calipers. And I did the brakes on it probably 2 years ago. It doesn't see a lot of mileage. Stays in town mostly, and now the caliper's seizing up, and it smoked the pads. The wheel's all black, and when the brakes are applied, yes, same as you, Katharine, it's shaking bad. And as that caliper doesn't release, it pinches the brake pads and continues to pinch, heats up the rotor, and then the rotor goes out around, and now you have like real chatter. Like boom, 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 and it may even sound like that because the calipers, it's applying itself. It's putting the brakes on for you, and it's not releasing, and it will pound. It will as you're going down the road, and it's kind of creepy because it sounds like you're going to lose. It's going to be, the old country song, you picked a fine time to leave me loose wheel. Yeah, and you don't want that. So you want to get that in quickly and have them do a 4-wheel full brake inspection. That means let's pull calipers off, brake drums off, let's pull the brakes completely apart and do a full assessment. That way we can completely estimate what needs to be done, what needs to be serviced, what needs to be replaced. And that way we can have, when your vehicle goes back out on the roadway, you can be confident knowing that you have all 4 brakes are working equally together. All right. Remember, it's Father's Day weekend. We made a rule yesterday on Fun Friday. No ugly sweaters, no goofy T-shirts, no shirts, no ties, no striped socks. No, none of that. Gift cards, yes, for favorite stores. Cool stuff. Only cool stuff. And food. Food is good. Favorite eats. Okay? All right. Back to the program. Back to today's programming. All right. Next question coming up. Are you ready? Jimmy writes, question number 3. I'm hearing a noise in the front when turning to the right. Okay. On left turn. What could I be looking at? Well, if it's front wheel drive, which most vehicles are today, could be a bearing, could be a CV shaft, or some call them half shafts. And I'm not a believer in half calf. Double decaf with a half calf, no. It's 99.9% octane boost. But for those who drink half calf, double decaf, God bless you. There's just something really weird about that. Anyways, if I'm having coffee, we're having a tough coffee. We're having coffee that's strong enough to resurrect a dead fuel pump. Yeah, that's our theory. So we want to just stick to the basics. If we're hearing a noise in the front when turning right, but nothing on a left turn, the problem is usually, here it is, it can and most likely will be the opposite side. Almost all the time, people think the problem's on the right-hand turn. No, the problem's on the left side on the right-hand turn in a lot of cases. That's why I can tell you this. It's more than likely going to be a wheel bearing or a half shaft, a CV shaft. Diagnosing is the trick. Now, I used to have this garbage can. I know you're going to laugh at this. I had this metal garbage can I had bashed down, and it fit the wheel of a car perfectly. So I put the vehicle on the lift, because most of the time I worked by myself. I bring the vehicle down so that wheel is right in that crevice of that metal garbage can, and it would hold that wheel stationary for me while I hear the opposite side. And so with my stethoscope, I'd put somebody up inside, a voluntold person, and with the engine running, just put it into gear gently and then run the wheel up. Put a little gas pedal on it, and then I can isolate each side. And I do that to both sides, and I can tell you that 9 times out of 10, it's going to be a CV shaft, half shaft, or a wheel bearing on the opposite side to where you're hearing the noise. Not to say it can't be that side. When you're turning right, it could possibly be that side, but if I had a nickel for every time it's that kind of thing has been misdiagnosed, yeah, I'd be in the Cayman Islands by now without issue. I'd be long gone, partner. And drinking a fruit drink while the water ocean spray laps my feet, sitting in a chair. So we want to slow that down, but you definitely want to get it in, because if it is a wheel bearing or a half shaft and it's making noise, that means it's loosey-goosey and something could snap. So we don't want to, if we can't stop it or steer it, nothing else really matters, if you know what I'm saying. Nothing else matters whatsoever. So we want to make sure on the diag so that you're not spending money fixing one side and then the noise is still there. Then now you're doing the other side. I mean, if the money is there to do both sides, here's what I always suggest to a client is both sides are the same age, same mileage. So if you're able, it would be best to do both sides all at the same time, and then you're starting from square one. But if money's tight, then we do the side that has the issue, and then when the other side lets you down, we take care of it at that point, because the opposing side will give you the same symptom at some point. It sure will. That's the way it is. Whatever you do to the left side, do the opposite side. Keep the vehicle equal. But if the budget's not there, fix what we have to, get you down the road, but then you've got the other side that's same age. It could come along and have the same problem in the next 6 to 12 months. So while you've got it on the lift and you got one side all torn apart and parts ordered, why not just do the other side? But again, it's the budget and it's your choice. But great question, Jimmy. You don't want to mess with that. You don't want to be breaking an axle shaft and smashing the transmission, taking the bearing housing out, inboard bearing. We don't want to see any of that happen to you. So get it into the shop right away. And if any of you need a referral, if we have a shop in your area, because I don't know where you may be tuning into this podcast from, we'll do our best to line you up with someone that you can trust. You certainly want to make sure you always get a detailed estimate so that there's no surprises. Absolutely not. Always ask questions. Always get a detailed estimate so you know where you stand from the very beginning. And don't forget, there's going to be diag time in there as well. So you ask for the big picture. What is it going to cost me all in? So there's no surprises, okay? So great questions. It's been great having you with us today. Enjoy your Father's Day weekend. Get out there and do something. If your pops is still with you, make some memories and enjoy that time together. And remember, keep it under 100. Put the coffee on because we might just stop at your house. So happy, healthy motoring, friends. Peace, patience, and kindness always. And we'll see you in the next one. Monday morning for Motor Mouth's Morning Drive, 8 a.m. right here in the Car Connection Workshop. Bye for now.